G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Got a bit of an unboxing for you. Today we're going to be unboxing a drone. It's the DJI Neo 2. Let's see what's inside. So a big exciting release, this one, the DJI Neo 2. The first DJI Neo was a bit of a success story, I thought anyway. It kind of came in at a very low price point, a relatively low price point, and offered, a pretty high spec drone experience that was really user friendly and kind of that beginner level, people who are into their social media, that type of thing, opportunity to get into the DJI drone experience. Now, the DJI Neo 2 lifts the bar quite a bit. I'm going to do a separate video just focusing on a spec comparison between the DJI Neo and the DJI Neo 2, but needless to say, they've fixed some of the issues. There's a couple that haven't been what I'd say is sorted, some of the complaints that we had with the original, but they've definitely made strides. It's got a bigger sensor, which is going to help with your low light. It's got a new image processor as well that hopefully work with the kind of color saturation that we saw with the first one and provide a more stable experience. It's got faster tracking, so it moves at 12 meters per second as opposed to 8 meters per second. It shoots 4K at 100 frames a second as well, so that's a big step up. I think it was 30 on the original, and it's a bit heavier. And they haven't really fixed the kind of range. So you could get about 18 minutes worth of kind of, well, not so much range, but battery life or flight time out of the first Neo. This one steps it up to 19, so it's not a huge increase. Yeah, so that's just some of the features. And like I said, I'm doing a separate video that's going to go into a full comparison of the two, just so you can see where it's stepped up and what the differences are. But in this video, we're looking inside the box. So interesting, so it's still 151 grams, so it's still quite light. By comparison, the just released Mini Pro 5 is 251 grams, and that's still super light. But it's obviously under that 250 grams, which is, ties into a lot of regional restrictions in how you can fly your drones. If it's under that 250 gram limit, in a lot of places, that gives you more flexibility to how you can fly it. Okay, there's added gesture controls in this, and it's stepped up in a lot of different modes, like dolly shots and so forth. Like I said, check out that other video for a full specs breakdown. I should point out as well, this is the Fly More combo, so there's various combinations you can get. Now the Fly More combo, I believe, is the third of 4 different tiers. You can get the top tier includes motion controls. And obviously the bottom tier, you're just looking at basically the drone and you control it with your phone. The Fly More combo here has the remote in it, so we'll be able to see that in a second. It's not the screen remote, which is the, what do they call it, the RC3? The RCN3, sorry, should have checked that. And you can pair it with that if you've already got it, so you don't, which case you can just buy the lowest tier, pair it with the remote you've already got. And with that remote, it reckons it can go 10K. So I don't know how you can go 10Ks on a 19-minute long battery, but it says it can. I'll test that in a second and you'll be able to find out in my review. But you obviously can just get this package and just get the more basic remote. Or potentially get the basic one and then buy the better remote experience, because it is really quite cool having the screen. Okay, so box has got the drone at the bottom, and we've got our controller in here. So let's start with the actual drone. So pretty just simple packaging, really. It's just got a little bit of cardboard protecting it. Not much protection. I mean, it's not filled with styrofoam, which is a good thing, but not too much protection. Maybe it's just really held in tight there by this box on top. Just unopened packaging, which is, again, interesting. All right, let's pull it out. There we go. That is the DJI Neo 2. With all the safety guards around it. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the big new step-ups with this over the DJI Neo 1 is omnidirectional object avoidance. So this is something that I've experienced. If you've seen my review of the DJI Mini 4 Pro, that has got the omnidirectional, and it's not impossible, but it's real challenging to crash into something. It is so good at working out what's around you, to the point where it can be annoying at times, because you'll get too close to it and it'll dodge out of the way, even if you're trying to get too close to it. But yeah, so it's got omnidirectional object detection and avoidance, and that's going to make it a lot safer for people to fly, especially if you're a beginner, and this is supposed to be for beginners. That is going to really help you out. So look at that. But needless to say, it's obviously a much smaller gimbal camera than what you get on the bigger ones, and it's where you see the price difference. So I believe the DJI Mini 4 Pro, probably the 5 Pro as well, has a 1-inch sensor on it. This is a 1/2-inch sensor. It was a 1/2.3 sensor, so it was slightly smaller in the DJI Neo 1. But there you go. So that is the drone. Now let's have a look at what we've got in this box. So how does it want to open? Here we go. Out this way. So there is our remote. That one is in a sealed package. Like so. And there we go. So you will have seen, if you've followed DJI at all, especially their drones, you would have seen this design before. You've got your sticks in the bottom here, the analog sticks, which you just screw into these. I've never lost one, thankfully, but it's something I worry about a lot, because the number of times you're fiddling with these in, dense grass or out in a bush or something like that, and you're just like, oh geez, if I drop this. It's got my glasses aren't on, but it looks like it's got the standard, C, N, and S. So your sport mode is the one where it's going to remove that object detection, I believe, and just allow you kind of a bit more free form. But you can flip it over to kind of other modes to protect yourself there. And this should, I believe, that's where you can attach a phone, I believe. So I use the one with the screen predominantly. Anyway, we'll look at that in the review. That is the remote. Okay, we've got a couple of extra blades, just in case things go wrong. Which, you know what? I've flown the heck out of my DJI drone. I've never lost a blade. I've got lots of spares, but I've never lost one. So, touch wood. Let's just sign myself up for something, didn't I? Okay, so packaging in here is a little bit tighter and has less rattle. What have we got there? USB-C to Lightning. So obviously the old iPhones. So I'm interested that they've included that, because it's been a few iPhone generations now since they used the Lightning cable, but yeah, I much prefer things being included than not. With that in mind, you've probably noticed there's no wall unit, which is a standard thing nowadays with a lot of tech, but something that does annoy me. I've got so many USB cables and nowhere near enough wall units. Whoa, that is a short cable. What is that? That's 30 centimeters, I reckon, maybe 40. That is a very, very short USB cable. I hate short USB cables. I just think it's the laziest thing to do. It just makes, you probably should assume that the person who's buying it doesn't have just a ton of these cables lying around. I do have a ton of these cables lying around, so I've got longer options, but yeah, that's extremely short. And then plus with the flying ball combo, you're going to have the spare batteries. So this is quite handy. You don't need it if you're just going to basically be a little bit of, it's just a bit of a hobby for you. You're just going to muck around out in the park, maybe with the kids, film them on their bikes, that kind of thing, to experiment a little bit. You probably don't need the extra batteries because you might only be shooting for that 19-minute window. But 9 minutes is pretty short. So if you want to take it anywhere, like camping or kids' sport game, it's going to go for longer than 19 minutes, or a picnic or a birthday party, something like that, then having those extra power units that are charged is going to give you, in this case, another 19 and another 19. It's going to get you through more or less an hour. of flight time, which is really good. So yeah, and it all just charges through USB-C, which you can see here. These all light up in very obvious ways as well. So there we go. That is a look at, I have a little screw in here with the manual. I'll open up the manual. Oh, DJI sticker. Boom. Quick start guide. Get you going. Is it mostly image based? Wow, multi-folded. Yep, so it's an image-based quick start guide, which is what they usually are nowadays. So that's going to be handy just to get people going. And I'm guessing a bit of information about being a drone pilot, what you're responsible for. That's interesting inclusion. QR code for the store, DJI store, and oh yeah, the little particulars, the small print. Righto. So that is an unboxing of this bad boy, the DJI Neo 2 drone. I'm gonna go and now get deep into flying this thing around. So make sure to keep it up on the channel. There's gonna be a review dropping if it hasn't already. Also, like I said, I'll do a comparison with the DJI Neo 1 just to show you what the spec changes are. And I'm hoping to do a range test as well and just see how far I can take this thing, although I don't want to lose it. So we'll see how brave I can be, right? Okay, I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, I'll check you later. You.